Hello, my name is Ollie. I cycle to work via the Avenue every day, normally around 8:35 by the time I come out of the common. I started cycling to work in September, just to do with to lose a bit of weight, get healthy, etc. And originally I was going via Lord's Hill, as that was the safest route, but obviously that goes through some parks and stuff, so there was a few obstructions there with dog walkers, buggies, etc. So when they announced that they were actually putting bicycle lanes onto the avenue, I was very, very happy with that, and I think a lot of people were. I think the main reason is that it's just so much more efficient. You can sort of go on the road, and obviously there was some cycling provisions here previously. It wasn't really ideal, it wasn't particularly well optimised, because obviously you're cycling on the footpath, and it's the same situation with people, buggies, dog walkers, etc. But so yeah, when these cycle lanes went in, it was I think it's a much better allocation of space. You can cycle relatively safely on the road, keep your speed up, and I think it transforms the bicycle into a much more efficient mode of transport. As we can see here this morning, around 8:35ish, the traffic's flowing pretty well. You see that. I saw a few other cyclists out and about, but I think you see more and more the longer these lanes have been there. I mean, when they went in at first, I hardly saw anyone, and then, you know, now I see a good few people using the cycle lane, so that's actually quite a good development, and I think the more people realise that they can use them, the more people will use them. Obviously it's really good to have a link to sort of Chilworth, North Baddesley, Romsey, Chandler's Ford area, and this just wasn't there before, unless you just wanted to ride on the footpath. And obviously, as I'll explain in the home time video, I'll ride along the old way that you had to do it. Now I'll show you why it's so inefficient. So you're just coming up here, finish the avenue now. As you can see, traffic's flowing perfectly well, and yeah, no complaints whatsoever. I hope these lanes stay, I really do. I'm just heading back from sort of Chandler's Ford direction. Obviously this area here needs a little bit further optimization, I think. It would be good if you could join the avenue in a little bit more of an efficient manner, because obviously there's the motorway entrance, and I particularly don't feel that safe coming with motorway traffic, because their head's going to be in the motorway zone and the speed differential, etc. So I tend to just go this way and head around here onto this shared path area here, which obviously isn't ideal either, but it's better than nothing. Just avoid these people here. So you can see here on the left there, you can see there's quite a lot of traffic built up, but that's actually from the pedestrian crossing just here. So this is the one I normally use, but just to give you a demonstration of what I would have had to do before if I was to use the avenue route to go home. You normally have to ride along the shared path here. There's obviously a shared path on the other side as well, but that just means you have to cross over. And yeah, you can see it's quite narrow. There's a lot of bus stops, a lot of runners and stuff out there, and if there's cyclists coming the other way, you have to avoid them. You have to give way at every junction, even though I don't know if you're technically supposed to, but that's just what you have to do, because obviously the cars, some of them reverse and just give you some space. For the most part they don't. Just coming down here to the next set of traffic lights, and you can see obviously, besides that initial build-up that was caused by the pedestrian crossing, the traffic's flowing really well again. I think, to be honest, I've never seen the traffic flowing this well, because last summer, before I started cycling, I was actually driving to work, and I used to come up this way, and sometimes rather than come this way I'd use the M271 as well, but by and large I would come this way, and the traffic was always pretty bad. In the few times I've driven here recently, I've seen quite an improvement in traffic, to be fair. So I know this is anecdotal, but I mean it is what I've observed, and I do use this route quite a lot, so I think it's a valid point. Obviously this is an excellent start. This is a really, really good start. Even just a few painted lines on the road to begin with. But what ideally it needs is just much more optimization, much more investment in infrastructure. I mean, to get the traffic flowing, you could still have bike lanes. If there was maybe some underpasses, I know that would cost millions. Even just some other way of keeping the traffic flowing and the bicycles flowing, that would be excellent. Obviously turning right as well, I mean it gets a bit hairy because you have to rejoin the traffic here as well, and people aren't always kind of on the same page as you. I mean, look at this guy, it's crazy. But yeah, by and large, I think the longer these are here, the more they'll get used. So I think it's an excellent start. Thanks.